Welcome to the Cosmo Ready video production for your electrical equipment, facial steamer. The facial steamer is the most used piece of equipment by estheticians. Knowing how to properly use a facial steamer and how to maintain the safety of your equipment is essential. In this video lesson, we will identify the safe use of electrical equipment, more specifically following safety standards related to your facial steamer. According to bioelements, steam is a crucial step because it helps soften the skin and hair follicles while loosening up congestion. This in turn helps your esthetician prepare your skin for the maximum absorption of key and active ingredients later on in your facial. Steam also helps stimulate circulation and nerve endings. Proper use of your steamer requires the use of only distilled water. Using tap water can cause minerals to build up on the heating elements and on the glass jar, which will damage your machine and create a hazard for your clients. Let's take a closer look at the components of your facial steamer. A. Timer and power on for the heating element. Heating the water jar could take 5 to 10 minutes and should not be done without supervision of the device and your client. B. Water jar for distilled water. We will take a closer look at this jar shortly. C. Steamer arm. This is where the steam will come out. The steam should be directed toward the client from behind, so you will position the arm behind the client and aim it down 15 to 18 inches away from your client. You should never face the steam blowing toward your client's face, as it may make it difficult for the client to breathe. D. Steamer adjustment arm. Twist the knob to loosen the arm and move it into position. Tighten it again when you have the correct position for the steamer and the client is comfortable. E. Refill cap. You may add additional distilled water without removal of the hot jar. Pour additional water in very slowly until the water temperature cools down and additional water can be added. Watch the jar while doing this as not to overfill. F. Ozone button. This is used to add extra oxygen to your facial treatment. When this is activated, you turn your steamer into a free radical ninja. The free radicals on the surface of the skin are able to obtain the extra oxygen atom from the steam, thus neutralizing their effects. If for some reason when you turn your ozone button on, the light does not come on, turn it off immediately. The bulb will need to be replaced. Filling your steamer jar. The jar has 2 red lines on it. You must make sure to keep the water between the 2 lines. If you overfill the machine, you will have problems and water will either boil over onto the floor or spit out hot droplets onto your client. If you have too little water in the jar, you will begin to smell the heating element burning. Always check this before you begin your facial. There is also a rubber gasket that goes on top of the jar prior to attaching it to the machine. Make sure that this is in place and not folded or gapping when you attach it. Improper placement of the gasket could cause a boil over of water onto the floor, creating an additional hazard for you and your client. Daily steamer maintenance. Empty the jar and let it dry. Clean the rubber seal around the rim. Before your first client, turn the steamer on to warm up. This will save valuable time once you begin your first appointment. Disinfect the body of your steamer daily, paying close attention to the parts you touch most often, controls, steamer arm, etc. Monthly cleaning to demineralize the steamer. Add 2 tablespoons of white vinegar to the glass jar and fill with distilled water. Attach the glass jar with distilled water and vinegar to the steamer. Turn on the steamer. Allow to heat to a steaming temperature. Important, do not turn on the ozone or any other steamer component. Let the steamer steam for 3 to 5 minutes, then turn off. Let steamer rest for about 30 minutes until the jar is cool to touch. Remove the jar and wipe down the heating elements and exposed metal surfaces with a clean cloth, removing mineral deposits and buildup. Empty the jar and refill with clean distilled water. Steam again for 30 minutes, turn it off, and allow your steamer to rest again for about 30 minutes. Additional cautions. Do not leave the water in the steamer overnight. Always empty and dry the jar at the end of the day. If you have a large reserve of water in your jar at the end of the day, you may remove it from the machine and lay a towel over the top so no debris gets inside. Never put essential oils or herbs directly into the steamer water. This can cause spitting and possible steamer malfunction. Never leave vinegar solution in the jar longer than 1 hour. Doing so can corrode the heating coils. Remember, vinegar has quite a pungent smell. It's recommended that you perform this cleaning process after hours when there are no clients in your spa. In addition, you might want to avoid running the vinegar solution through your steamer in your steamer room. A utility room or other space clients do not visit might be best. Electrical Equipment Facial Steamer has been a Cosmo Ready video production.